Hello, welcome to my lair. My name is Aphrodite, and I'm going to explain to you how to use my script BG81.Lua. Okay, the first thing you have to understand about the script is that it's designed to start your airplanes from an uncontrolled condition. It's also designed to enable you to be able to drive some of the ships around if you want to. Turn a carrier into the wind or turn one of the small boys into the wind. You can do all of that. Okay, so the first thing we have to understand about the script is that we can change the ship names, and we need to do that so that we can keep track of them a bit easier. So right now, right in here, I have 3 blue ship names. I'm going to change CVN74 to a different name just to show you that we can do it. We can make it any name we want to. So what we want to do is go in between the quotation marks, just like this, and then type in a name. So we're going to type in the first name as Heather, just to make it any. You can make it any name you want to. You can even make it the real ship names if you want to. And the other one we're going to type that in. We'll make that Leslie. Okay. Okay, we also have red ships. We can steer the red ships, and we can also start up the red planes. Okay, so this is the red ship. We're going to change that. We're going to make that. We'll make it Susan. Okay, now when we do something like this, we have to make sure in the game, in the mission editor, under the group name, that we change the names of the ships to match these. Okay, now also on the script, you always have to have one ship named CVN. Okay, and the reason we have to do that is because there is a 200 nautical mile defense zone around the carrier. Okay, so anytime a red aircraft flies in there, that's going to trip off the defense sector, and Admiral is going to come on a secure voice red phone, and he's going to start telling you to launch the alert alpha. So that's part of the script, and that's all automatic. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that's all we need for the scripting right now. That's the only thing you have to change. And keep in mind also that you can put as many ships as you want to in here, or as few ships as you want to in here. You can also put down ships that go by the waypoint as normal, like we always do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the game. Have a lovely day. Okay, now we're in the game, and we're going to go ahead and just set up a mission from scratch. Okay, this won't take very long, but I want to be able to demonstrate how we use everything. I'm going to use the Guam map because that's the only map that I have, but you can use any map that you want to. So we're going to let that load up. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to set in our ships. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. So the first one we're going to set in is our carrier. We'll use the George Washington. And remember, we want to change the group name. Okay, the group name is the top box on your mission editor. On the very first box, we're going to use the group name for everything in this. And you're going to want to name everything in this. Okay, so as we remember, we named it CVN73 in our script. So that's what we put in here, CVN73. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and add some more ships. I think we're going to make one of them the harbor tug, because I want to explain to you that we can even control the tug. And the reason we want to do that is because eventually we want to get Eagle Dynamics to remove the safety net around the ships, and that's going to allow us to be able to push and pull the ships around in port and push them into the piers and stuff. So that's going to be helpful. So we're going to name this one Leslie, like we did in the script. Okay, and we're going to put in another ship. This one's going to be Arleigh Burke. If I can find it, I should be able to find it. It's right here. Okay, and we're going to name that one Heather. As we can see right here in the group name, we named it Heather. And we're also going to put in a red ship, because we can control the red ships also, and the red airplanes. Okay, so let's find something respectable here. Get Moskva. And we're going to name that, like we did in a script, Susan. We're only naming it like this just because to show you that we can name it anything we want to. So you can name anything you want to. You can even name it like their real names. That's okay too. Okay, so we got the ships on here. Now we're going to throw in some helicopters. Okay. Now remember, everything we put in here always goes uncontrolled for the airplanes, even the helicopters. Okay, so we're going to throw it on the Russian ship, the red helicopter. We're going to get the, I guess we're going to get the KA-50. Put him on there. Okay, so we put him on there. Go into the type under the waypoints, and we're going to put takeoff from ramp. Okay, and then we're going to get this new box up here. It says uncontrolled, and we're going to select that box. That means he's going to sit on deck. He's just going to be cold. He's not going to do anything. He's just going to sit there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing in the U.S., and we're going to put it on Arleigh Burke, and we're going to use the F860, and he also is going to just sit there cold. He's not going to do anything until we start him. And we're going to be able to start these. So take off from ramp and select uncontrolled. Okay, so we got the helicopters on there, and then we're going to put the airplanes on the ships. Okay, it's important to do it in this order if you intend to be launching like your Alert 5s. Okay, we can also put the airplanes on base. It doesn't matter, red or blue, does not matter, as long as they're uncontrolled. They put them in an uncontrolled condition at the beginning of the script, and then they'll just sit there until it's time to launch them. Okay, now we're going to do it this way so that we can launch the Alert 5 package. So the first one we're going to put on is an F-14. We're going to put it in slot 1 and 2 on a carrier. F-14B. I don't have the 3D F-14, so I'm going to use this one. Okay, we're going to put uncontrolled, or we're going to put it take off from ramp in the type. We're also going to put uncontrolled like we did before. We're going to name this. Okay, it's important that we name everything that we can. This one we're going to name Cap 1. Okay, we're going to give him some weapons. And the reason we're doing this is because he's going to fly out and he's going to shoot down a Russian aircraft that got into our airspace. Okay, so we're going to give him some weapons. We're also going to give him a partner. So he's got a wingman. Okay, that's going to take up slots 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to set up slot 3 and 4. I'm going to use F-18. I'm going to use slot 20. That's the only F-18 I have. And we're going to make him take off from ramp. He's going to be uncontrolled also. It's going to be Cap 2. Also, it's something we need to put waypoints for the airplanes, and the reason why we have to do that is because if we don't, they'll just fly around and come back and land, and then they're going to mess up getting off the deck kind of thing. So we're going to do that. Okay. So we give him some weapons. Going to give him a wingman. That's going to take up slot 3 and 4. Okay, we're going to go back and give these airplanes some waypoints here real quick. Okay. Okay, these are F-14, so we're just going to give them a waypoint. And he's just going to fly out here like this. We'll put that at 25,000 feet at 520. Okay, and his wingman will follow him. And then we'll do the same thing for the F-18s. Give him a waypoint. We'll come out here like this. We'll put him at 20,000 feet at 480. Okay, so his wingman will follow him. Now we're going to go ahead and make another set group of planes, more F-18s. And same thing, it's just going to take off from ramp, uncontrolled. We're not going to give him any waypoints because he's not going to launch. We're not going to bother with it. Okay, we're not going to give him any weapons or anything, so we're just going to give him a partner so we can take up more space. Okay, so now we got airplanes in slots 1 through 6 on the flight deck. This is important because now we're at slot 7. And the reason we want slot 7 is because it's going to it's going to be the E2. He's going to take off from slot 7. And in order for him to take off, he is going to take off from catapult 3. So he's not going to be blocked by anybody else. So he'll be able to take off first like we want him to. Okay, so we put him on deck, call him AWACS. And we're naming these, and the reason why is because when we get into the script and we get into the game and we go into the communications menu, we'll be able to find them easy and we'll be able to launch them properly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put him take off from ramp also. He's going to be uncontrolled. And we're going to put him out here and he's going to fly around, I don't know, 30,000 feet. And he's going to orbit right there. I'll give him an advanced waypoint. We're going to put an orbit. We're not going to put any fancy stuff on it. We're just going to orbit him right there. Doesn't matter. Okay, now we're going to add another plane. This one's going to be the tanker. He's going to take off from slot 8 again. He's going to take off on, he's going to wind up being on the catapult 4 when he takes off. It's going to take him a lot longer to take off. Okay, it takes him longer to start for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it does. So probably an older plane is why. Okay, that's an F3. He's going to take off uncontrolled. Okay, and we're going to give him a waypoint over here. We're going to put him at 15,000 feet. At 300. Okay, so now we got pretty much everything set up. We can put on more airplanes because we can fill up the whole list if we want to, but that'll take up a lot of time, and I don't want to take up all of your time. And I know that probably you guys all love me, but I don't want to take up all your time. All your wives that get jealous and all that, and I don't want to have to deal with all that. So that's what we're going to do with that. Okay, now this script has a 200-mile defense zone from the carrier. Okay, so when an airplane comes in there, what's going to happen when a red airplane comes in there? What's going to happen is the admiral's going to come on and he's going to start screaming to launch the Alert 5. So let's see if I have enough space here. We do, so that's going to be 200. And then we'll put a red aircraft out beyond the 200. So you can see that work out here. Okay, so I think we'll make, what kind of aircraft are we going to put out here? I think we'll put the Tu-22 out here. We'll put this guy here. No. And of course, My thing goes over the top of it, so you can't see it. I'll put him right here, and then we'll fly him in. We'll put him at, I don't know, 25,000. Then we'll fly him over here like this. Doesn't really matter where he flies. We're just gonna fly him in because the point is he's gonna fly into the air boundary is all he's gonna do here. So that's okay. Okay, so I think we got everything we need here. Okay, so we got everything there. Now we're gonna put in the scripts. Okay. First thing we're going to do is put in the Moose script. So we're going to new, under triggers, we're going to go mission start. We're not going to use conditions. And we're just going to put in a new, under actions, do script file. And we're going to open. This is going to take us into the missions directory. Now with the missions directory, I always use just the stack file. I just stack them up like this, okay? And the reason why is because the script isn't going to go into a folder and call it up. I know that you guys are creatures of habit and you like to put everything in its place like that, but that's not the best way to do it. Just use the stack method. It goes in alphabetical order. You can pick out your files like that. It's a lot easier. And plus the game will be able to find them also. Now I use Moose 2.9.17 for this. Okay. You can use an earlier version if you want to, but if you do, this script may not work right. Okay, so we can see do script file Moose 2.9.17. Okay, and we're going to do another script. We're going to put in our battle group script. We're going to click once. Okay, right here, once for the trigger. I'm not going to name it because we're only doing a few. I'm going to leave the conditions out, and then the new we're going to do script file again, and this one we're going to pick out BG81, which is the name of our script right here. You can see it, stack method, simple Simon. Okay, and then we're going to, the script comes with sound files. Okay, and basically what we're going to do is these sound files are going to enhance your gaming. Okay, so it'll run without the sound files, but you're going to want to use them. Okay, I promise you're going to love them. Okay, now under conditions for this, we're going to do once for the trigger. Under conditions, we're going to put in time more. And what we're doing here is we're just putting in a time that is never going to occur. Okay, so 99,999 seconds is great. Okay, time's never going to happen, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, and then we're going to go into new and drill down under action to sound to all. Okay, and then we're going to start opening our sound files. I'm going to list them off here for you because there's a lot of them, but you're going to love them. Okay, so the first one we're going to get is AB launch alert. This is your Alpha Bravo. He's going to launch the alert Alpha. ABB launch alert OGG. That's the file type most of these. Okay, going to go in new. Going to select a next sound file, which is going to be Captain Launch Alpha. That's the only wave file. Going to go new. Select the next one, HF flight quarters. So we're going to call off flight quarters. Again, it's simple Simon because it's stack method. It's alphabetical. I'm going to go whistle, OGG. This is your ship's whistle. You're going to want that. I'm going to go too short blast, which is also your ship's whistle. You're going to want that also. This is going to keep you under the call regs. So you can make sure that when you turn your ship, you're going to be abiding by the international rules. Okay. We're going to use permission, a little bit of Navy terminology here. So we're going to get that. That's an OGG file. You're going to love it. Okay, we're not going to do anchored because I don't have a sound file for that. Okay, next one we're gonna use is starboard hard. Open file. Gonna go into the mission listing and we're gonna get starboard hard. Next one is we're gonna get port hard. These are going to allow you to turn your rudders. Okay. And basically what we want here is because we're gonna have a standard, Navy standard, 3 degrees per second on the turns. So port hard is going to be 6 degrees per second. And use your rudder, port or starboard, is going to be 1.5 degrees per second. So that's pretty much the way that works. Okay, the next files we're going to get our rules of engagement files. Okay, we are going to be able to change the rules of engagement throughout the game. Okay, so we don't have to just set it at the beginning and leave it anymore. We can change it throughout the game. So we're going to go sound green first. Sound green, OGG. Next one is sound yellow. I know that's new for most of you. You probably never heard of it, but it's a real military thing. Weapons yellow and tight. We're going to use it. Okay, so it's real and it works. Okay, and we're also going to go sound red for red and free. OGG. Okay, now we're going to do our engine orders. This is for when we set our speeds on our ships, because we're going to be able to change it in the middle of the game. We can change it to whatever we want. Okay. Okay, so the first one we're going to grab is engines flank, EOT flank. Next one we're going to grab is EOT full. Next one we're going to grab EOT 2/3. It's 1/3. There's 2/3. I don't know why it's like that. EOT 2/3. Next one we're going to grab is EOT standard. These are all actual naval terminologies, by the way. I'm going to do EOT 1/3. And they're all standard terminologies. We're also going to do EOT stop. Okay, now this script right here allows us to also go back 1/3 back standard. Right now I just have it set at 0, so basically when you do one of those it just stops the ship. However, I have another script that allows us to be able to run the ships backwards. That's also important when we go in port so that we can park the ships properly. Okay, so when I'm told that that can sometimes crash the script, so I'm still testing that. It hasn't crashed the script yet, so we'll see what happens there. Okay, we're going to do the east starboard. This allows us to turn our rudder easily in port so that we don't run aground or run into other stuff. So east starboard. And remember that one turns at 1.5 degrees per second. And we do east port. Okay, now that's going to be all of the sound files, a whole bunch of them right there. Okay, you're going to be able to download them all. Like I said, you can run the script without those, but you're going to want to run them. Okay, so I'm just telling you, you're going to love them. Okay, so now we got everything in our game. And now we're going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to save it as gmiz. You can save it anything you want to. I'm going to overwrite that. And then we're going to start the game. Oh, we forgot one thing. We forgot. I knew it. Okay, we got to put on something that we can access the communications file. So the only airplane that I have that I can do that with is the F-18. You can use whatever you want to. We're not actually going to fly it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put it out here. Okay. I'm going to put him at 35,000 feet so he doesn't crash. And then I'm going to fly him all the way across here like that. We're not actually going to fly him, it doesn't matter. And we also want to put out an E2 so that he can get out there early from the start of the game. Okay, and that's going to help us be able to detect the incoming aircraft, is all that's going to do. We should be able to detect it anyway without the E2, but just a little safety factor, we'll be able to detect it. Okay, we're going to put him up here. We're going to put him at 30,000 feet. And we're just going to put him in an orbit out there. And we don't care what kind of orbit he's in. He's just going to go in an orbit. That's all. Okay, now we're going to save it. And then we're going to start it. We forgot, once again, we got to put the player mode on the F-18. So don't forget that part. You have to be the player. Even though we're the player, okay, we're not actually going to fly the plane. Doesn't matter. Or at least for this scenario, you can fly it if you want to, I guess. And this shouldn't take too long to load. Hitting time now. There we go. Okay, so the fleet command deck came online. Okay, as we can see there, we also got our dynamic 200-mile defense bubble locked into the CVN-73. So we got all of that going on. Okay, we're going to get out of the airplane and we're going to just go onto the ship. Make sure that everything is lined up properly. So we got the E2 and the tanker over there. They're going to take off from Cats 3 and 4. Cat 3 right here, Cat 4 right here. So they're not going to have anything blocking them from starting. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to start the aircraft carrier. Go into the communications menu. Go into other, fleet operations, blue faction, CVN-73, F2 for engine telegraph. Here's the Admiral.
Launch alert.
He's coming in over secure phone. He's telling us to launch the alert because the red aircraft is flying into the defense zone. The captain's doing that. Now we're going to launch flight quarters.
Flight quarters, all hands, man, your flight quarters stations. Sat material condition, zebra throughout the ship. Now flight quarters.
Okay, so we're launching flight quarters. We're not quite ready for that yet, though. Okay, fleet operations, blue, CVN-73. We're going to go engine telegraph. We're going to go ahead standard.
Engines ahead standard. Make turns for 12 knots.
That's all standard terminology.
Permission, come aboard, Captain.
A little bit more.
Permission is granted. Welcome aboard.
A little bit more of that.
Captain, this is officer of the deck. Request permission to get underway.
This is all standard.
This is officer of the deck. Single up all lines.
We can see the aircraft is getting underway. The carrier blows his whistle. I love it. Okay, we're going to go also into the red ship, and we're going to start him up just to demonstrate that we can do this. Susan. We're going to go into engine telegraph, ahead standard.
Engines ahead standard.
Click over there and show you that we can do that. There's the red ship.
Welcome aboard.
Captain, this is officer.
You can see that he's getting underway.
Permission to get underway.
Okay, since we're there, we're going to go ahead and start up his helicopter.
This is officer of the deck. Single up all lines.
I don't speak Russian, so that's the way that is. Okay, we're going to F10, Fleet Operations, under the red faction, Deck Scramble, F4, and then we're going to start the Rotary 1, which is the helicopter. We're going to start up the KA-50. We're just going to let that go for now. I'm going to go back on to the carrier. I'm going to turn him a little bit. We want to just demonstrate that we can do that. Okay, so on the blue faction, F1, F for the CVN-73, F1 for helm controls, and we're going to go right standard rudder.
Helmsman, right standard rudder.
Officer of the deck, my rudder is right standard.
You can see these turning right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop that. The way we do that is we go into Other, go into Fleet, F1 for blue faction, CVN-73, and we're going to go into Helm Controls, F1, and we're going to go Rudder Amidship, F8, or Steady as she goes, F7. Either one is stop the turn. Okay, so you can pretend that you're turning into the wind. Okay, let's go ahead and start some of the airplanes. Okay, we go into F10 Other, F1 for Fleet Operations. We're going to go into Blue Faction. We're going to go into the Deck Scramble, F6 on this one. Okay, that'll change every time because of the number of airplanes and whatever that we have. Okay, so I'm going to start the AWACS. Okay, again, F10, F1 for Fleet, Blue Faction, F1, Deck Scramble. We're going to start the tanker. He's going to take longer to start. I didn't label him for whatever reason, so let's see, I don't know which one he is. Looks like Ariel 2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the blue helicopter on the small boy, just to demonstrate that we can do that. Rotary 2. Okay, now we're not going to do it exactly like they would, but we're going to go ahead and start up the cap because I want to hurry up. Like I said, I don't want to take all your time. Blue faction, Deck Scramble, start cap 1. I'm going to start up the cap. He's going to spool up. Okay, and we can see that the E2 is already spinning up. You can see his blade spinning. Okay, let's go back over to the helicopter on the, and you can see that he's spinning up. We might take a minute and wait for this because you can see the water is, the air mist, the air blowing up the water. You can see the sea mist blowing up from the helicopter. I think that's pretty neat, actually. Eagle Dynamics did really good with that. You can hear the rotors engaging. That's pretty neat. I like that. So he's taking off. Okay. And you can see the blue helicopter doing the same thing over here. Okay, now after an aircraft launches from the deck, what winds up happening is that the queue clears from the aircraft, and that allows you to bring up more aircraft on deck. Okay, so you'll have to do those from a late start uncontrolled condition though. And when you do that and they come up on deck and they pop on deck, the script will automatically pick those new aircraft up so you can launch them. Okay, the F-14s are getting ready to launch. We're going to go ahead and change. We're going to go ahead and set our rules of engagement right now. So the blue faction, air defense. This is F2, air defense, alert status. Warning green, weapons hold. There's the Admiral on secure. Okay, and the reason we're doing this, we're putting it weapons hold right now so they don't just fly out and start attacking the airplane. We want to demonstrate that we can change the rules of engagement in the middle of the game. So that's what we're trying to do here. So we're going to wait for them to take off. So right now we're set at green and hold. Okay, the rotary 2 cleared the deck, as we can see there. He's out of the queue. We'll go into the queue and see if we can find him, and we're not going to be able to because he's already gone. And that's important because that keeps the queue active and it keeps open spaces so we can put more planes down. Okay, so he's not on there. So that's a good thing for us. Okay. That's E2 getting ready to take off. And this is almost done. We're almost finished with all this. There's a tanker. He's taking off. A little bit surprising. I wouldn't think he'd be ready this quick, but he is. Okay, and there's the first F-14. He's taking off. He's going to clear the queue, but we don't care about that. What we're going to do is go in here, and we're going to make sure that, and we're going to show you that he's going to fly out to his. He's going to fly his flight path. Okay, he's not going to. Okay, and we can see that he's turning into his flight path here. Now we're going to go ahead and set rules of condition to red. Now he won't turn and go after the other airplane until his wingman takes off also. Okay, so we're going to go to air defense. F3 for warning red. There's the Admiral. He's going to set it up warning red. Now see, he's still going out to his waypoint. But when his partner gets off deck.
This is Alpha Whiskey Roger. Break Whiskey. This is Alpha Whiskey set air warning red weapons free.
Okay, so Springfield. So now they're both off deck, and now they're both executing the warning red, and they're going out after the Tu-22. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and spin around to the tug. We wanted to show that we can control the tug. Okay, and the reason we want to do that is so that, like I said, when the ships come in port, that we can push them around, pull them around. If we can get Eagle Dynamics to remove the safety mesh around the ships. Okay, so I think we named it Leslie. Start the engines up. We're going to go ahead 1/3.
Ahead 1/3. Make turns for 6 knots.
And like I said, we can change the speeds anytime we want to.
Captain.
Of course, permission is granted.
You can see his rotors. You can see his screws are turning, so he's already started. Okay. Now with these ships, we can also stop them.
This is Officer of the Deck. Single up all lines.
Okay, now with the helicopters, we didn't put down any waypoints, so as you can see, they just come back and land, so, which is fine. Okay, now the F2, we're going to stop the Russian ship. Okay. Go into the red faction, go into engine telegraph, and then we can go all stop.
Helmsman, all stop.
And he'll start slowing down and stopping.
Officer of the deck. Engine room answered all stop.
So he's stopping, and we can go into the aircraft carrier. Let's exit from there first, and we want to see this. Okay, now the Admiral also has the capability of stopping all the ships that are moving on whatever faction he's in. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate that. F10 other, fleet operation, blue. I'm going to go F1, all ships, fleet wide. And then we're going to go into the engine telegraph. Okay, and we're going to go stop.
Helmsman, all stop.
And this is the Admiral, and
Officer of the deck.
he'll stop all the
Engine
ships.
room answered all stop.
And you can see that his speed is slowing down on the blue faction. And if we had all the ships moving, we would see that they're all stopped. In fact, we have the other tugboat. He should be stopped also. And he is. Okay, so the Admiral can stop all the ships at the same time. Okay, now you can also put your ships in and use the waypoint. You can use it just like we always do. So they don't all have to be something that you have to drive. Okay, so you can just drive like the aircraft carrier and put the rest of them in on waypoints if you want to. So you can do something like that. But that's pretty much all we're going to do here. And I hope this enhances your gaming a little bit. Like I said, I think probably the funnest thing that you're going to be able to do is to be able to start the aircraft from an uncontrolled condition. That means you can put them on your base, you can put them on your ship anywhere you want to. Take off from ramp uncontrolled, and then when you're ready for them to launch in your mission, you can go into the script, into the F10 file, and you can start whatever aircraft it is that you want to start. It's important that you name every single thing that you put in here so that you can remember what it is. Alright, so I hope this enhances your gaming. I love you guys. Have a lovely, lovely day.